Kara and I would come home from tours or from gigs, and we would bring home photos and stories to our families and our friends, and we would say, oh, look at this, I was just on Bowen Island, look how beautiful it is, me standing next to this tree, you know, and look at this photo, right? And then my wife would be like, yeah, what would be better if I was in the photo? And she's right. I wish I could bring her along. The song is also really about how we go to these beautiful places and we try to take photos of these things and show off where we've been, and the photos like in the song, they just don't do it justice. And so we wrote this song about all those feelings, that idea. But we also like to tell stories of the road that would make more sense had you been there, right? So like thus, Secondhand. So I'm trying to think of one, like, I can't remember, did we tell
Did we tell our trophy story the last time we were here?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
All right, we'll tell it again, all right.
Okay, a Small Glory show, you know there are stories. And lots of tuning. And maybe some dancing.
So a few years ago, we got a chance to go to Australia. It was amazing. We left on Boxing Day. It was minus 32 degrees in Winnipeg, and we flew all the way to Brisbane, Australia, Queensland, and it was plus 32 degrees when we got off the plane. And it was great. We were there for like 6 weeks, and we toured a little bit around in Queensland. We did most of the touring in New South Wales, and we went down to Tassie. We did Tasmania. And we did a few festivals. We were on something called the Festival of Small Halls, where we went out to these wonderful communities and we played these small halls, and everybody showed up. And we played this festival called the Illawarra Festival, which is right on the East Coast, just south of Sydney. Beautiful beach town, and wonderful, wonderful little festival. And Kara and I were both billeted at different people's homes. We were also with the tour manager, another artist from Tassie, and our sound man. And we were all billeted at different people's homes. And at the end of the festival, our tour manager, Courtney, came around and picked us all up one by one. We just happened to pick up Carol last. We got her and her gear into the van, and we started down the road. Now, a couple doors down from where Carol was staying, there was this other house that had this big old lawn and all this stuff out on the front lawn. Now, in Winnipeg, we got something called free weekend. So if you don't want your stuff, if you're trying to get rid of stuff, you put it out on the lawn, right? And someone will walk around and grab it, and you can go and take other people's junk, right? And so this is what I was saying: stop the van! Of course, stops the van. Open the door, run up onto the front lawn, and this twinkly thing catches my eye, and I pick it up. It's like it's this beautiful, giant ballerina trophy. And I was like, oh, this will be fun. I ran back to the van, and I gave it to Kara. I said, here's your trophy. And she said, what are you doing? What? You're weird. Why? Where did you get that? I was like, there's like 70 trophies up on the lawn. She says, well, go and get them. So I ran back up onto the lawn and I grabbed this big old bucket of trophies. Dusty old trophies. It's probably a young family. I had some kids who did ballerina and they grew up and went to uni or something, and they didn't take their trophies, and their parents were like, what are we going to do with it? Let's just put them out on the front lawn, right? Some weird Canadian will come in there. And so I grabbed them and we ran back to the van, we took off, and by the end of the road, they were like, what are we going to do with all these stupid trophies, right? And I said, okay, we'll get to the place where we're going to sleep tonight, and we'll sleep on it in the morning, and we'll come up with an idea. And so in the morning, we figured, well, we have about 2 more weeks of concerts left. Why don't we give away trophies at our concerts to the audience? Great idea. So the first thing we did, we ripped off the little people's name on the trophies, and we threw them in the shower because they were super dusty. And then we came up with a list of who we would give these trophies to them, you know. And so, like, the dirtiest hippie who showed up that night, that guy always got them.
Always a guy.
There's always a guy. And we gave them all sorts of people, and we would often have dance parties. And so we were out of this beautiful community near the Snowy River, and everyone came, old folks and young folks came, and we had a big dance party in the front. And there was a 6-year-old boy and this older lady, and they had a dance off to one of our folk songs, really weird. And at the end of the night, we gave the trophy to the kid, and he was like, right? And then his parents came up afterwards and like, wow, great show, thank you. You know, this was Bruce's first trophy. You know, we gave him a freaking ballerina trophy. He had to dance on with an 80-year-old woman.
The newspaper was there. They put him in the newspaper the next day. They interviewed him. There were pictures of us after the show. It was very strange. We used to also give them to all the presenters of the show. So these were community events, and we were playing at lots of rural communities. And this one woman, we think word had started to spread that these crazy Canadians were doing this. And we sort of presented with Alice. Alice, come on up for your trophy. Thank you so much for being. And she came up and she pulled this speech out of her bra. I've been waiting 62 years to receive a trophy for all the work I do in my community. And these Canadians brought me a second place ballerina trophy. We give them to sometimes animals. People would bring their dogs, and if the dog could do a trick, they totally got a trophy. So near the end of the tour, we still had a few trophies left, and we try not to eat fast food. I mean, we're in a small town, Australia. It's not a lot of McDonald's, but we were in one town that was close to a bigger town that had a drive-through McDonald's. And you know, you gotta just do drive-through McDonald's in a foreign country once. So and JD's like, I want to see how many pickles they'll give me on my burger. So we go through, and we have this brilliant idea. We're like, we don't sound Australian, so we stand in the front seat. We get to the drive-through window, and we say, hello, my name is Kara Luft, and this is JD Edwards, and we work for the North American franchise of McDonald's. And we've been visiting all of the takeout window services in New South Wales, and we just want to tell you, you have the best takeout window service we've ever had, and we'd like to present you with this ballerina trophy. And all the staff came to the window, and it was really, really great. So, Secondhand, it would have been better if you'd been there.
Bet you don't do it justice. You see the things I see. Don't need to hear about it secondhand. There and then come along with me.